Unveil the manual to access your hidden energy and ignite the sacred awakening within. I never expected a single dream to change everything. Yet here I was, standing at the edge of my reality, staring into the abyss of uncertainty. The night felt charged, almost electric, as if the universe was whispering secrets through the rustling leaves. My heart raced. A strange pull urged me to explore the depths of my hidden energy. Doubt surged within me like a dark tide. I had always believed there was more to life, a force waiting to be unleashed. But now, the fear of the unknown clawed at my insides. I closed my eyes, drawing in a breath so deep, it felt like drawing in the light of countless stars. Each inhale filled me with possibility, each exhale released the weight of skepticism. The wind danced around me, weaving a tapestry of silence and sound. I began to see visions in the dark, shapes tinged with luminescent hues. Shadows flickered like candle flames, beckoning me closer. Was this real, or merely a trick of my imagination? Perhaps the universe was unfolding itself before my eyes. I needed answers, my heart thudded with urgency as questions loomed in my mind. Could there really be a manual? I whispered, the words hanging in the air. A guide to unlock what's buried deep within? Nature seemed to conspire with me, the moon casting its silver light upon the world, illuminating the path ahead. I felt a rebellious spark inside, a hushed calling to rise. But with each flicker, doubt gnawed at me again. What if I was chasing shadows? Did anyone ever truly awaken the sacred energy within? Would I find the guide I sought, or was it like fumbling in the dark for something unreachable? My thoughts spiraled like a whirlwind, and I stood on the precipice of discovery and despair. A sudden rustle broke the heavy silence. My pulse quickened. I turned, hoping to catch a glimpse of the unknown. Everything froze in my heart, the world around me. And in the stillness, I felt a shift. A question lingered like a ghost in the air, insistent and raw. What awaited me on the other side of this awakening? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As the rustle subsided, a gentle light began to emerge from the shadows. It was unlike anything I had ever seen, a warm, golden glow pulsating softly, as if it breathed with the rhythm of my own heartbeats. I dared to step forward, drawn toward this beacon like a moth to a flame. With each footfall came a sense of weightlessness, as if I was shedding the layers of fear that had entwined themselves around my spirit. The source of the illumination revealed itself, a figure cloaked in robes that shimmered with iridescent colors, constantly shifting like the surface of a tranquil lake disturbed by a gentle breeze. There was something ancient and serene about their presence, a knowing that transcended the physical realm. My breath caught in my throat. For a moment, I was suspended in the sacredness of the encounter. Do not be afraid, the figure spoke, each word melting seamlessly into the stillness. You stand on the threshold of your potential. This is the beginning of your initiation. Initiation? I echoed, unsure of what the term truly meant, yet sensing its gravity. The shadows around us danced with interest, twirling in celebration or perhaps caution. Yes, they nodded. Every soul must confront the depths of its own challenges and beliefs. Only then can the true energy within be accessed. I felt a tremor of understanding wash over me. This was not just a dream, nor was it an accident. This was a purposeful unfolding, as if the universe had conspired to bring me here, to this very moment. But what do I need to confront? My voice trembled, and I realized just how palpable my fears had become. With stark clarity, I recognized the gnawing doubt that had followed me, urging me to remain small and comfortable. Would setting my spirit free mean facing pain I had buried deep? The figure raised their hand, a gesture that seemed to carry the weight of lifetimes. Every mark upon your soul tells a story. Some are filled with sorrow, others with joy. It is in their acceptance that you uncover your energy. A flicker ignited in my chest. Acceptance? I pondered. Is the manual about acceptance? Partially, they smiled, their eyes sparkling like distant constellations. It is also about embracing your shadows, illuminating what is hidden. Each encounter will bring forth a lesson, every lesson will draw you closer to the truth of your being. The ambience shimmered around us like an ocean of possibilities. But what truth awaited me? I was left hanging in reverie, caught between curiosity and trepidation. Could acceptance truly hold the key to accessing my hidden energy? Or was it just another facet of this complex journey? As our eyes locked, I felt an unspoken connection flourish, a silent acknowledgement of the path ahead. It was an invitation to step beyond the fear into the unknown, yet my heart quaked beneath the weight of choices that lay before me. In one fluid motion, the figure motioned towards the darkness, a pathway illuminated by flickering light. Follow the signs, listen to the whispers. Each footstep brings you closer to the manual you seek, but remember, the journey itself is your greatest teacher. With a rush of courage, I stepped into the light, the path beckoning like a siren's song. But even as I walked, I felt the delicate threads of uncertainty entangle my spirit once more. What awaited me at the end? Would I find peace or unraveling? I began to wonder, with each heartbeat echoing in my chest, could embracing my failures be the sacred key to the energy within? Or were the shackles of my past too heavy to bear? The landscape around me shimmered with both promise and peril, leaving me to ponder how much I was truly willing to confront in my quest for liberation. As I ventured deeper into the illuminated pathway, the air thickened with an intoxicating blend of tranquility and anticipation. Shadows flitted around me, whispering secrets only the night could hold. The twist and turn of the path seemed to guide me not just through the tangible landscape but also into the recesses of my own mind. Glimmers of moments long forgotten surfaced, fragments of memories both joyous and painful darting in and out like fireflies on a warm summer evening. Each step reverberated with the pulse of my heart, a reminder that I was alive, that this journey was unfolding for a reason. I paused for a moment, leaning against a smooth, cool tree trunk, its gnarled bark worn yet resilient. The earth cradled my feet, and I felt the pulse of the land, as if it beckoned me to listen closely. That's when I saw a series of symbols engraved into the trunk, glowing faintly in the ethereal light. They spiraled and danced across the wood like a language I had yet to decipher. What stories did these symbols tell? Were they warnings or wisdom, inscriptions of forgotten journeys similar to my own? Tentatively, I reached out and traced the contours with my fingertips. My touch ignited a current of energy, a connection that blazed through my veins. Suddenly, I was transported into a memory, a child's laughter echoing in a sunlit garden, a playful breeze weaving through my hair. But the laughter transformed, shifting and darkening into a burst of anger as the scene morphed into a familiar conflict, my heart aching with disappointment. In this vision, I saw myself retreating, the child's joy vanishing like mist, the echoes faded, and I staggered back, gasping at the raw emotion. Why did I forget? I whispered into the stillness, my question hanging heavy in the air. The symbols on the tree pulsed brighter, as if responding to my query, urging me to dive deeper into this well of remembrance. Every instance of fear creates a shadow, a soothing voice emerged, not unlike the gentle murmur of the robes I had first encountered. From behind the great oak, a new presence appeared, a woman with eyes the shade of emerald forests. She wore a crown of wildflowers and moved gracefully, as though she was at one with nature itself. You must not shy away from what was lost. Each layer of your story is a stepping stone to your truth, but how can I embrace my past when it stands against me? The uncertainty of my words felt heavy in my chest. This dance between acceptance and fear tugged at my spirit, testing my resolve. She stepped closer, almost enveloping me in her warm light. By understanding that all experiences are teachers. Look at the shadow and ask it what it needs from you. Let it carry its message instead of allowing it to dwell in the corners of your heart. A shift occurred within me, a spark igniting as I grappled with her words. Could I truly interrogate my fears and release them? The thought sent ripples of unease through me. What if their stories were too painful to uncover? But wasn't I already carrying that weight, heavy and unresolved? The woodland began to thrum with energy, the wind swirling around us in a dance of encouragement. I inhaled deeply, allowing the earthy scent to fill my lungs, grounding me in this moment. What do I do? I asked, almost pleading, as a fear of the unknown tightened my chest. Listen, she replied, her voice a lilting melody, and you will hear your heart's wisdom. Engage with those who echo your fears, who dwell in shadows like you. Let every encounter reveal a facet of your being. As her words settled in my mind, the symbols on the tree flickered, the stories within calling me to reckon with the past and engage with those shadows. Each experience weighed differently, the lightness of joy juxtaposed with the heaviness of sorrow. With a growing resolve, I stepped back and faced the path ahead, now vibrant with intricate colors and shapes, swirling like a tapestry. What must I confront first? I found myself murmuring, but even as I sought guidance, I realized that the question was not just about the specifics, but about the profound faith I needed to nurture within myself. Suddenly, a thought pierced through the haze. If embracing failure was indeed part of the awakening, what would it mean to welcome the entirety of my existence, mistakes, shadows, joy, and all? As my pulse quickened in recognition, I pondered, what would happen if I dared to sit with my fears, to listen to the whispers of my past? Would it be a liberation or a reckoning? There, under the starlit sky, I understood, the road ahead was both daunting and wondrous, like an unwritten chapter awaiting my ink. Carrying this new question in my heart, I continued down the path, each step echoing with the promise of revelation and the possibility that the greatest lesson lay not in evading the darkness, but in drawing it closer to the light. What treasure would emerge when I dared to unveil what was hidden? With each footfall resonating through the quiet woods, I felt the energy shift around me, intertwining with my own rhythm and purpose. The path ahead branched off into two trails, one veiled in shadows and the other bathed in soft luminescence. I hesitated, my heart pounding with both anticipation and trepidation. Which path would yield the insight I sought? As if sensing my uncertainty, the woman with the wildflowers lingered at the edge of my mind. Trust your intuition, her voice echoed, carrying on the wind. The thought calmed me momentarily, solid ground amidst the uncertainty. Choosing the illuminated trail, I walked forward, the gentle glow revealing sights that filled my soul with warmth. I encountered vibrant flora unfurling in celebration, petals that seemed to whisper secrets to the breeze. The air was thick with sweet scents and a soft hum, as if the forest itself celebrated my passage. But as I advanced, the surrounding light flickered and dimmed, reminding me of the fragile balance between joy and shadow. Suddenly, I stumbled upon a clearing where a circle of stones radiated a serene energy. They appeared ancient and wise, their surfaces etched with signs resembling the symbols from the tree. I knelt beside them, captivated by their presence. In their contours, I felt the weight of countless spirits and the stories they held. Could these stones be here to guide me further on my journey? It was then that I noticed a figure sitting cross-legged within the circle, a man cloaked in layers of fabric that flowed like water over rocks. His hair cascaded down his shoulders, alive with vibrant colors that mirrored the essence of twilight. His eyes, deep like the ocean's mysteries, met mine with an intensity that beckoned me to speak. "What do you seek?" he asked, his voice like the rustling leaves, imbued with patience. "That I wish to embrace my shadows," I confessed, the words spilling forth, vulnerable and raw. "I want to understand the depths of my heart and free the pain that binds me." The man smiled knowingly, a spark of understanding flashed across his features. "Then step into the circle and connect with the stones. Let their wisdom reveal what lies before you." Taking a deep breath, I stood and stepped into the circle, the coolness of the stones embracing me like a long-lost friend. The moment I did, a surge of energy enveloped my body. The air thickened, and I felt the weight of the emotions I had tucked away rise to the surface. I closed my eyes tightly, allowing the sensations to wash over me, visions unfurled like delicate petals, fragments of my past rushing in a moment of betrayal, a word unspoken, laughter turned to silence. Each memory was vivid, sharp against the stillness of the present. I fought to suppress the wave of emotion that threatened to consume me, but the stones called me to surrender. In that surrender, an unexpected release occurred. Each breath became an anchor, pulling me deeper into acceptance. I felt the fears morphing, once terrifying shadows transforming into mere contours in the light. The burdens I had carried began to dissolve, allowing clarity to fill the spaces they once occupied. When I opened my eyes, the man was watching me with an empathetic gaze. "What did you discover?" he inquired gently. I saw how the shadows shaped me. "They are not my enemies but lessons, threads in the fabric of who I am," I admitted, a newfound understanding sparking within. I could see how acknowledging those fragments allowed me to reclaim power over my narrative. He nodded, a flicker of approval in his expression. "Blending light with shadow creates balance. You must journey forth with this knowledge, but remember there is still more to uncover. The colors of your being are endless, and the shadows may still hold deeper truths." I nodded, excitement threading through my veins as I grasped the enormity of what lay ahead. While I wrestled with the past, I felt an unquenchable thirst for understanding the complexities of my spirit. What if I encounter deeper fears? What if I hesitate to approach them? The man's smile softened. "Each fear you unearth is an invitation to grow. Remember, though shadows may seem daunting, they shine brighter in the presence of awareness. Continue to connect with those who resonate with your journey." As I stepped out of the circle, a new determination filled me. The wisdom of the stones lingered, mingling with the energy of the forest. I could not ignore the depths still awaiting exploration, nor could I aid anyone else in their journey until I surrendered to mine. With a heart filled with questions and a mind ignited with curiosity, I resumed my trek through the illuminated path. The stones now glimmered in my recollection, calling me to engage with the world beyond this moment. Where would this journey lead me next? What truths lay hidden within the layers yet to be unveiled? Each step pushed me further away from ignorance and ever closer to discovery, a dance with shadows that demanded attention. I carried with me a resilient question: how could I integrate the lessons of my past while gracefully forging ahead into the unknown? The soft glow of the illuminated trail began to dim, the ambient light fading gradually as I ventured deeper into the heart of the forest. I could hear the distant sound of flowing water, a gentle trickle that echoed the rhythm of my heartbeat. With each footfall, I felt the earth beneath me pulse with an energy that seemed to both beckon me forward and remind me of the sacred soil I tread upon. As I continued along the trail, a sudden rustling in the underbrush caught my attention. I paused, heart racing, as a creature emerged, an elegant fox with fiery fur and eyes that bore an ancient wisdom. It approached cautiously, its gaze locking onto mine. This felt like more than a mere chance encounter. The fox seemed to embody something profound. The stillness enveloping us felt sacred, charged with a palpable energy. "Follow," the fox seemed to convey through its knowing stare. Without hesitation, it turned and trotted ahead. Intrigued, I followed, intrigued by this unexpected guide that we weaved through the trees, each step bringing me closer to the melodic sound of water. The moment we arrived at the stream, I was struck by the vibrancy of life surrounding me. Sunlight danced on the surface, illuminating countless stones strewn along the edges, glistening like jewels scattered by some celestial hand. But what captivated my attention was not merely the beauty of the scene, it was the myriad of reflections rippling across the water, each distortion telling a story of its own. I knelt by the stream, entranced by the reflections of the world above, trees, clouds, and the glimmering sun captured in a mosaic of fleeting moments. The fox settled beside me, its eyes fixed on the water, as if urging me to look deeper. "Observe," it seemed to whisper. As I concentrated on my own reflection, I began to see not just my face, but the intricate layers of emotion swirling beneath the surface. Each layer was bound by the experiences of my life, the anger, the joy, the sorrow, the love. This was more than mere self-reflection, it was a call to illuminate the hidden corners of my being, as though the water was challenging me to confront what I usually avoided. In that moment, the encounters with the stones and the man echoed within me. Every facet of existence influences your essence, I recalled his words. Embracing this idea allowed me to move from surface-level awareness to recognizing the deeper connections I had to my emotions and experiences. The fox shifted, breaking my reverie, and looked toward the path from which we had come. As if sensing my need for guidance, it motioned for me to rise. There is still more to discover, I seemed to hear as it bounded away, urging me to keep pace. I followed closely, and we ventured deeper into the thicket. The trail grew more complex, veiled in twisting branches and flowering vines. There, amidst the wild growth, I stumbled upon an ancient tree, much larger than any I had seen. Its trunks twisted upwards like hands reaching for the heavens, branches laden with blossoms that seemed to pulse with the very light of the sun. Drawn to this majestic being, I approached and placed my hand upon the rough bark. A jolt of energy surged through me, wrapping my heart in warmth. The air thickened once more as I felt a whisper, a gentle invitation from the tree itself. "What do you seek of me, weary traveler?" It seemed to breathe. "That I seek knowledge of your wisdom," I answered, a willingness to listen spreading through me. "I wish to learn how to grow and embrace the shadows inside me." "Growth is rooted in the acceptance of both light and dark," the tree murmured. "Just as I anchor myself, you too must find your foundation. Embrace the storms that come, as they enrich the soil of your existence." In that instant, I envisioned the fox again, darting through the underbrush with ease despite its vulnerability. I recognized the metaphor in its grace, one that mirrored my own journey, a dance with shadows and storms, gaining strength from both. The tree's gentle voice provided a clarity I craved. To grow was to remain steadfast in either light or darkness. As I leaned against the tree, drawing strength from it, a question lingered in the air around me. How could I nurture my roots even as I reached for the light above? The trees swayed gently in the breeze, leaves whispering secrets I could not yet decipher. With both exhilaration and trepidation, I felt that the answers lay within the journey I was bravely undertaking. Would I have the courage to dig deep into my own soil, allowing the winds of change to guide me toward my own sacred awakening? With the fox as my silent companion and the wisdom of the ancient tree in my heart, I continued down the path, craving the discoveries yet to come. As the path beneath my feet wound onward, illuminated by occasional bursts of sunlight, I felt an electric anticipation thrumming in the air. The teachings of the tree lingered in my mind, each word echoing like the gentle rustle of leaves. I was reminded of the entangled dance of life, the entwining of light and shadow, of knowledge and ignorance. The fox remained by my side, offering silent support, a reminder that I was not alone in this venture. The vibrant forest around us seemed to swell with life, urging me to advance, to dig deeper into the layers of my being. Soon, the sound of rushing water returned, louder now. The stream had transformed into a small waterfall, its cascading mist creating ephemeral rainbows in the shafts of light. I approached the water's edge, mesmerized not only by its beauty but by the raw power it exuded. The waterfall spilled over rocks, carving a path through the landscape, a reminder that great force flows without violence. It made me ponder my own journey. Was I allowing my own energy to flow freely, or was I hiding it beneath layers of doubt and hesitation? As I knelt down to touch the cool water, a series of shimmering reflections danced on the surface. My image blended with those of the trees, the sky, and the fox, a tapestry of unity. I saw faces there. Ghostly visages of moments long past flitted through my mind, memories that I had buried rather than embraced. Faces of teachers, friends, family, and even strangers who had touched my life, each voice whispering fragments of wisdom, urging me to rise. What does it mean to embrace? A voice broke through the soft rush of water, unsettling the stillness. It was not my own voice, but rather a soft cadence that drew my attention. I looked around, startled to find a figure emerging from behind a larger rock, a woman draped in flowing fabric that shimmered like the surface of the water itself. Her hair cascaded like a waterfall, and her eyes sparkled with insight. "Who are you?" I questioned, curiosity surging, mingled with apprehension. "I am a guide," she said, her voice soothing yet powerful. A keeper of secrets born of the currents in which you seek. Many pass through this realm, yet few perceive the deeper messages it holds. What message do you offer? I asked. My heart raced, feeling the weight of the moment. Consider the water you admire, she replied, nodding toward the waterfall. It flows with purpose, cascading down its path. It faces obstacles, yet never wavers from its course. It teaches the art of yielding and enduring. A shimmer flickered in my mind. What did it mean to yield? I thought of my struggles, the moments when I fought against the current rather than surrendering to its wisdom. Embrace your fears, as one would embrace a passing storm, she continued, her eyes penetrating my own. In fears is a truth hidden, and through acceptance, you unlock your own sacred power. Only then can you ignite the energy within, illuminating the shadows you fear to hold. Her words resonated, awakening something dormant inside me. I saw potential in surrender, an ability to accept not just the hardships, but also the myriad lessons woven into them. But that thought led to another. How could I genuinely accept my shadows? What did it mean to truly unveil the truth woven into my fears? The waterfall roared, and I felt the energy of the moment expanding, wrapping around me like the mist, exhilarating yet daunting. Something stirred in my spirit, a longing to dive deeper into the waters of my own experience. Seek the elements of your journey with curiosity, she urged, beckoning me to join her by the water's edge. Your reflections hold the key to potential untold. As I took my place beside her, a question lingered in my thoughts. Could I summon the courage to confront the shadows I so often avoided? What secrets might I uncover if I dared to embrace the truth buried within? The presiding presence of the fox at my side and the shimmering wisdom of the waterfall imbued my spirit with determination. I took a breath, ready to plunge into the depths of discovery, both frightened and exhilarated. It was a certainty I felt, the journey was far from over. With each step forward, I would uncover layers yet unseen, transforming fear into clarity. What awaited me beneath the surface of my own reflection? As I stood there, the cascading water enveloping my presence, it took only a moment for me to realize the profound gravity of the figure beside me. What were the hidden energies just out of reach? What awaited my attention beneath my layers of confusion? The woman smiled softly, as if she could read my thoughts, weaving a thread of connection that felt ancient yet urgent. The journey continues, she said gently, drawing my attention back to the fabric of nature around us. The vibrant colors of the trees, the vibrant greens and deep browns, pulsated with life, as if each leaf whispered secrets only to those willing to listen. Listen, for the earth speaks in riddles. With a nod, I lowered myself to the ground, feeling the cool touch of the soil beneath my fingertips. I closed my eyes, striving to perceive the vibration of the land. In this moment of stillness, I felt drawn into the rhythm of the world, a pulse that seemed to beat in harmony with my heart, inviting me to connect. What do you hear? She asked, her voice like a gentle breeze that swept through the forest. Many things, I murmured, sensing the underlying energies coursing through the very soil. The whispers of the trees, a chorus of life surrounding me. But there's a deeper call, something distant yet familiar. Follow that call, she urged, her expression shifting subtly, a mix of encouragement and intrigue. Your intuition will guide you like a river flowing to its destination. Do not fear where it leads. I unfurled my senses, permitting the forest's sounds to envelop me, each chirp of a bird, the rustle of leaves, the soft trickle of water. Suddenly, an image flickered within my mind, a flicker of flame igniting in the darkness. A vision emerged, a gathering of people, their faces illuminated by a shared purpose, signing in unison, unified under a cause greater than themselves. What is this? I gasped, feeling warmth radiate from the core of my being. It feels powerful, unity, she responded, her gaze serious yet nurturing. A force capable of creating ripples over time. You are a part of this grand tapestry, stitched together by your shared experiences and voices. Each person you've encountered was a strand, a contributor to the fabric of your existence. Embrace that connection, it is where your energy lies. As reverence washed over me, I was struck by a realization. Each individual, every challenge I encountered, had not been merely obstacles but essential lessons, weaving growth into the very essence of who I am. Yet insecurity still lingered. What if I fail to connect? I asked softly, vulnerability swirling within me. Failure is a shadow, yet shadows cannot exist without light, she replied, an encouraging smile illuminating her features. It is the act of reaching out that unveils new understanding. Stand firm in your truth, and the right connections will find you. Her words impressed upon me the need to act, to explore the multitude of connections before me. Yet deeper questions bubbled beneath my surface. How many genuine bonds had I let slip away through fear or uncertainty? How would acknowledging the intricate dance of belonging serve my continued journey? With reverence still echoing in my heartbeat, I turned my attention back to the waterfall, noting how it blended seamlessly with the earth and the sky, an emblem of unity within diversity. It whispered of surrender, yet it also pulsated with a heartbeat of resilience. If the waterfall can yield to its journey, embracing the rocks and bends it encounters, I reflected, then perhaps I, too, can reshape my course by opening my heart to others and nurturing the growth of trust. The woman observed me intently, her eyes contrasting the backdrop of the radiant surroundings. Indeed, the art of letting go often brings forth clarity. With each connection, you may find pieces of yourself scattered in others, so seek them out. Filled with this newfound understanding, I recognized that I must not only confront my fears but also gently beckon toward the bonds I have known. A stirring sense of adventure flickered within me. Who would I meet next? What stories would emerge from the depths of vulnerability? Whatever lay ahead, would need to allow myself to be both guardian and witness to the energies I had neglected, cultivating relationships that resonate with the wisdom I was beginning to uncover. As the waterfall continued its eternal dance, I stood by its side, anchored yet yearning. The promise of discovery loomed, igniting a sense of wonder deep within my spirit. What hidden connections awaited my attention? What transformations might arise from gathering the threads of my journey? And could I dare to dance in unity with the vibrancy of life that surrounds me? The next morning dawned with the sun filtering through the trees, casting delicate patterns of light upon the forest floor. I stirred awake, a lingering energy vibrating within me, urging me to rise and explore. As I stepped into the day, the world felt renewed, a canvas inviting my brushstrokes of curiosity and intention that I set forth, following a path that twisted through ancient oaks and thickets of wildflowers, their colors vivid banners of resilience and beauty. With each step, I felt the weight of my determination, the need to seek connections and uncover the energies that shaped my existence pressed forward. As if in answer to my quest, I stumbled upon a glade that whispered secrets of serenity. Sunlight pooled around a stone circle at its center, worn and weathered, ancient yet alive with stories of those who had come before. Kneeling near the stones, I traced my fingers along their cool surfaces, feeling the pulse of the earth resonate through them. Each stone, a memory, I whispered, and in that moment, I sensed their collective wisdom, inviting me to access the echoes of past seekers who had gathered here. The air shimmered, and as I closed my eyes, I discovered the visions within. I witnessed figures dressed in simple garb, silhouettes illuminated by flickering flames. They danced around the very stones I touched, chanting in harmonious tones that filled the air with reverence. An unspoken bond enveloped them as if gravity had tethered their spirits together, content, united, unburdened by time. A yearning surged within me, a longing to be part of such communion. What makes this connection sacred? I pondered aloud. Intent, a voice emerged from the backdrop of my thoughts, smooth and comforting, like the caress of a cool breeze. I opened my eyes and turned, expecting to find the woman from before. Instead, I encountered an elder man who seemed to embody the essence of the forest itself, his hair woven with twigs and leaves, and his eyes reflecting the depths of the sky. Your heart must resonate with authenticity, he continued, stepping closer. The sacred awakens when you seek to honor not just others but your own truth. In this space, every offering is accepted, every story told, and therein lies the fabric of connection. What if my truth is hidden beneath layers of fear? I asked, vulnerability dancing like shadows across my expression. Fear is but a companion, often leading you to the edge where growth awaits, he said, his voice resonating with wisdom. Face it, and you might find within it the very spark that ignites your potential. Share your story, for in revealing your light and shadow, you step into the fuller version of yourself. The elder's words lit a fire in me. I contemplated my recent encounters, the woman by the waterfall, the visions of unity, and felt the weight of each experience settle into a more profound understanding. There was an alchemy at work, and I realized that to connect with others, I first needed to embrace the authenticity within me. But as I grappled with this realization, a flicker of uncertainty emerged. What if revealing my truth led to rejection? Or worse yet, what if it failed to resonate with those around me, casting me back into isolation? Embrace your vulnerability. It is not a weakness but a gateway, the elder counseled, eyes alight with reassurance. In connection lies strength, and often it is your raw honesty that inspires others to dismantle their own facades. The sun moved overhead, casting longer shadows, an invitation to explore further unfolded before me. I took a deep breath, feeling the cool air fill my lungs, and resolved to share my journey, me longing for connection, my struggles, and the threads of fear that I dared to unravel. Whatever lay ahead, I sensed that the act of revealing my story would lead to something transformative. As I wandered through the glade, I felt an invisible tether to the stones, to the energies of those who had gathered, and to the countless souls who might hear my voice. Yet as I prepared to step back onto the path, a question loomed, as persistent as the hum of life around me. How can I honor the sacred within while weaving my essence seamlessly into the expansive tapestry that connects us all? What truths lie within me that, when revealed, might spark the flames of awakening for others? As I emerged from the tranquility of the glade, the forest pulsed around me with newfound vibrancy. The sun continued its slow ascent, transforming the world into an ever-changing tapestry of light and shadow. Each step felt intentional, like a dancer discovering the rhythm of a melody only they could hear. Somewhere in the depths of my being, the elder's voice echoed, "Embrace your vulnerability." What did it truly mean to embrace vulnerability? With each stride, I welcomed the uncertainty that accompanied such a journey. A faint rustling in the bushes snapped my attention. I paused, heart quickening. Emerging from the thicket was a fox, her fur a rich russet against the green undergrowth. She paused, her amber eyes locking with mine, as if seeking to communicate beyond the barrier of language. In that moment, an understanding blossomed. There lay a wild grace in her being, an invitation to witness the unfiltered essence of life. Foxes are symbols of cunningness and intuition, reminding us to navigate the world with both wisdom and playfulness. I felt compelled to approach, and as I did, she remained still, creating a bridge of trust that transcended our differences. "What secrets do you hold?" I asked softly, reveling in the shared silence between us. The forest responded with its symphony, the rustle of leaves, distant birdsongs, the whispering wind. It felt sacred, almost as if the spirit of the land was urging me to not shy away from my own truths. The fox turned on her heel, glancing back at me invitingly. My heartbeat quickened, I felt a stirring within that spurred me to follow. We ventured deeper into the woods, the sunlight filtering through the canopy, creating pockets of warmth in an otherwise cool atmosphere. It felt as if the forest itself was alive and aware, guiding me to a secret only the brave would dare seek. As we walked, old memories surged to the forefront of my mind, fragments of my past woven with threads of fear and uncertainty. I recalled moments where I had held back my convictions out of fear of rejection, times where I had hidden pieces of my story, fearing they were unworthy of sharing. In that vulnerability, I felt the stirrings of something deeper, grief intertwined with longing, a powerful urge to express my truths rather than conceal them. Finally, I reached a clearing, and there stood an ancient tree, its trunk gnarled and wide, veins of life coursing through it. The fox sat at its base, almost as if guarding a sacred site. I approached, placing my hand against the textured bark, feeling the pulse of time emanating from within. The tree felt like a keeper of secrets, its openness echoing my inner journey of acceptance and revelation. "What does it mean to grow strong like you?" I communicated with the forest and the fox. The wind swayed through the branches, and in response, I felt a gentle warmth rise within me. The churn of emotions, apprehension, excitement, and an awakening coalesced into clarity. The act of revealing one's truth was an act of resilience, akin to the tree's robust roots enduring the harshest storms, finding strength in its unwavering presence. As I stood there, a vision unfolded, a vibrant intertwining of souls sharing their stories, creating a circle of authenticity, each voice illuminating the hidden pathways of others. The fear that had once felt paralyzing now faded into a whisper against the strength of shared vulnerability. Yet, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows again, a question loomed persistently: what would it take for me to take that first step into the circle of shared stories? What parts of my narrative were begging to be unveiled, waiting to ignite sparks of understanding and resonance in those around me? The truth felt tantalizingly close, yet wrapped in the uncertainty I continually sought to understand. The answers lingered on the horizon, and with the fox still by my side, I understood the journey had only begun. What truths lay within the whispered forests, waiting for me to claim them? The forest breathed around me as I stood by the ancient tree, the weight of my presence echoing through the air. It felt as though time had paused, allowing me a sacred moment to reflect on what I had uncovered thus far. The sun hung low in the sky, casting its golden hues through the branches, a reminder that all things change, and nothing is ever static. I closed my eyes, allowing the rhythm of the wind to carry me into a state of reverie. Images of the experiences I had gathered on this journey flitted through my mind, each encounter, each revelation, a thread woven into the tapestry of my existence. And yet, I knew deep down, that despite the wisdom I had accumulated, there rested a deeper truth that demanded my attention. "Fox," I whispered, drawing strength from the creature that had silently stood watch over my journey, "what more must I uncover to access the hidden energy within me?" The russet-colored creature turned its gaze upon me, its eyes reflecting an ancient wisdom. It trotted closer, nuzzling my leg in a gesture of encouragement. My heart stirred with a mixture of excitement and fear, for I understood that to grow, I had to confront the very essence of my own story, the shadows I had avoided, the truths I had held close but never expressed. What awaited me when I fully stepped into my own light? With resolve, I circled the tree, contemplating the lessons it had shared. The strength to withstand storms, the roots buried deep, and the willingness to let the leaves fall to the ground, relinquishing what no longer served. In those images, I recognized the dance of surrender and acceptance, an acceptance not merely of my past failures or fears but of the totality of my being, the intricate beautiful mess that was me. In my mind, I summoned the figures from the visions I had experienced, the faces of those who had been part of my journey, whether for a fleeting moment or for the entirety of my life. Each had a unique place within me, weaving in lessons that begged to be honored and shared. "I will honor you," I declared, my voice echoing in the growing dusk, "and I will share my truth." As I said those words, a shift occurred within me, and I felt warmth radiating from my core, igniting a spark that threatened to consume my apprehensions. Yet, as the fear began to ebb away, I looked ahead, envisioning the circle of stories I yearned to join, a gathering of souls emboldened by vulnerability and connection. What if I dared to share my failures? What if I unveiled the sting of rejection, the moments I hid in shadows, and the heartaches I held close? What if I welcomed my truth, those pieces of my narrative that felt too raw to show, believing they had the innate power to resonate with others? With each heartbeat, I found myself stepping forward, as if the very universe conspired to guide me. The fox scampered ahead, and as I followed, the path grew brighter as though illuminated by the potential I was beginning to embrace. The forest opened up before me, revealing a clearing, a gathering place where the stones beneath my feet had been waiting as ancient witnesses to those ready to share their truths. I stood at the center, my heart racing, empowered by the understanding that I was both the storyteller and the story itself. "Here I am," I proclaimed, my voice carrying through the trees, breaking the silence, calling forth every thread of connection that had shaped me. Each word tumbled forth like the waters of the cascading waterfall, sincere, raw, and imbued with the essence of growth through pain and triumph. As I spoke, I heard the sounds of footsteps approaching, the whispers of others drawn to my call. Faces emerged from the shadows, seekers much like me, sharing the same fears and joys, the same longing to be seen. They gathered around me, hearts open, ready to listen, to affirm that vulnerability was not an act of weakness but a powerful invitation to deeper understanding. One voice, then another arose, a chorus woven from soul to soul, a sacred tapestry of shared experience. There in the stillness of that clearing, I felt an awakening swell within me, a powerful revelation that this is what it means to access the hidden energy, the understanding that we are all threads in one magnificent fabric, interconnected by our stories of light and shadow. As the sun dipped beyond the horizon, casting a warm glow over the gathering, an overwhelming sense of peace washed over me. I had come to the edge of the abyss and crossed through it, emerging not just transformed, but awakened to the realization that connection and authenticity are not just gifts to be given but are vital aspects of our shared human experience. In that moment of unity, one truth blossomed within every heart present: our stories are sacred, powerful, and transformative. And in that profound stillness, as life began to settle into quietness around us, I spoke my closing thoughts to the gathering, filled with love, light, and gratitude. In the tapestry of existence, every story matters, every truth matters, and it is in the boldness of sharing that we find our most sacred awakening. With those final words resonating like the toll of a bell, I felt an infinite connect, knowing that we are never alone in our journeys, that as we unveil ourselves to the world, we light the path for others as well. And as I stood amidst this circle of kindred souls, my heart soared with a profound realization: the journey of awakening never truly ends. It only deepens and expands, forever inviting us onward, guiding us toward the sacred fullness of our beings. That we are the keepers of our stories, and together, we create a shimmering constellation of truth, a radiant reminder that when we dare to embrace our vulnerabilities, we ignite the sacred energy within, transforming not only ourselves but the world around us.